Hey y'all, it's Rick here with Uncommon Communion. Yes, I am recording, and yes, I missed the 7 a.m. post because I'm recording this on Thursday morning. It has been a week, y'all, and one of the hardest things about this week, as I expressed in my written post yesterday for Wednesday, is that I was losing my voice and I had a funky little cough, and I think it's mostly back, my voice, not 100%. So I think I can record. I'm glad that you are with me, grateful for your presence, and especially so deeply appreciative and grateful of the reality that we are always and everywhere in the holy presence of the more and each other. Wow, y'all. We are something like day 13 of the war of choice, the war of illegality, the Operation Epstein Fury, as I am hearing it called. And yeah, this is the world we're living in. This is the country. This is what happens when people don't vote well. And this is also what happens when a cult has taken hold in political life, in religious life, in so many aspects of our society here in the US. And I want to talk a little bit about these things, and then we'll get to the psalm. I need to be running out of the door here pretty soon, so I'm going to try to keep it short because I still got to walk my dog and try to get to work on time. Well, here's the thing, y'all. So I think what I've been struck with reading Substack and reading experts on warfare, which I got to be honest with you, they're not my favorite things to read. Because I do not. I mean, this sounds dumb, but I think war is the dumbest possible thing ever. You know, it's destructive, it's violent, it's counter to so many things, it's wasteful, and the list just goes on. I mean, there's no end to it, really. Nevertheless, I appreciate people who are experts at the way the world is. And a couple in particular, one is Malcolm Nance. He goes under Black Man Spy. He is doing a daily warcast on, I think it's at 9 o'clock Eastern. He streams. Fascinating, because this is a man who has been there, has lived there, knows these places, who knows, who's following closely. He brings guests on to talk with him. Highly recommend him. I'll try to put a link to him in the notes here. The second thing, and I'm going to put a link to this article as well, um, the Strait of Hormuz. I don't know how much you're following that, but that is a choke point of about 30% of the world's oil. And putting mines in there, which is apparently what Iran is doing now, is unbelievably dangerous and destructive and disruptive. And that's what we're seeing right now. And I'll put another article that I found that, again, goes into that. Fascinating stuff. Things you probably never thought about. I know I never thought about. How does all this work? And really, the upshot of it is, y'all, is even as T Rump and his minions continue to struggle with a reason why we're doing this, that just continues to boggle my mind. I'm old enough to remember both Iraq wars, and one of the things about those, yeah, we were lied to. They used exaggerated reasons and exaggerated evidence, but they were very clear in preparing the public, in saying what the objectives were. This war has none of that. And it is just, again, astounding. You can watch the late night comedians, you can read places that just continue to say not even how their reasons for this war evolve, how they can't even figure it out. And in the same sentence, even T Rump is changing his reasons. And I mean, it's absolutely insane, y'all. We are the insanity that we have has been growing and metastasizing here in the US now has gone global. It's always been global, and we cut things like USAID and all of that other just insane things that they did from day one. Remember those days? Yeah. But now it is disrupting the world, and it is dangerous. It is troubling. It's insane. And again, I think we have to realize it is a cult of power and personality and religion, right? Much can be said about that, but the reality again is about a third of America has been indoctrinated, continues to choose to be brainwashed and held tight in this cult. Before we get to the psalm, I just want to bring up a little note. And again, humor is so important. Stephen Colbert is one of my favorites. I like Jimmy Kimmel. I like Seth Meyers. I like The Daily Show, Jon Stewart. I mean, there's just so many. That's really giving me humor and hope in the absurdity of this moment. But I think it was Stephen Colbert had a funny thing. I guess it was last night or 2 nights ago. I don't know if you saw this story that apparently T Rump is buying shoes. He loves this kind of pair of dress shoes, and he's buying shoes for his cabinet and his bros, his close bros. And apparently, as the story goes, he is picking out sizes for people. He's not like asking them their sizes. He's like saying, I think you need this size. So he sizes someone up, because, yeah, that's, he's an expert at shoes and so forth, right? It's just insane. And he, has them ordered, has his staff order shoes for, his cabinet. So it's funny because Colbert said, when somebody is telling people what they need to wear, there's a name for that, a cult, right? And then he made a joke about, you're going to wear the black wingtips and then, you're going to put on this, crazy sort of cult outfit. But the other piece of humor, and when we just think about who these people are and the tragic, sad, pathetic people that they are, I guess T Rump didn't size up Rubio's very well, Marco Rubio, or as I heard him called, Little Marco Rubio. And he does like clown shoes. And Colbert showed a photo of Colbert of Marco in these like giant clown shoes, and he says, "Yeah, that's what happens when you put your dad's shoes on." And y'all, I don't know about you, but we gotta laugh. I gotta laugh because otherwise, I'm gonna yell and scream and rage all day, and that's just not productive, right? All right, Psalm 71, again, in a similar theme to what we've heard about save me, help me with my enemies. And again, there's definitely some patterns in the Psalms. And rather than kind of get bogged down in, more of the same, I want to, again, see how it speaks to us, to me in the moment. And also, sometimes bring in other sources. And I've shown you this book before. When I was reading today, Psalm 71, I'm not going to read it all to you. It's quite long. I'll put it in the chat. I was struck by 3 verses in particular that the indigenous translation, I was like, wow, that's a really wonderful image. And again, a helpful and evocative image for me. So I thought, well, what is that in a more typical, more traditional translation? So I pulled this out. I want to share these with you. You'll see them highlighted below. First one is 71 verse 3. Be my lodgepole, one I can always depend on to hold me up. You spoke the word of instruction that set me free, for you are my strength and my safe place. Here is what that is in a more traditional translation. Verse 3, be thou to me a rock of refuge, a strong fortress to save me, for thou art my rock and my fortress. Right? I don't know about y'all, but that second one maybe sounds like the Bible to more people, but I much prefer the first one simply because it feels relevant and useful. And even if I don't understand, a lodgepole, right? I get that, the tent pole, the tent stake, right? Next one is verse 6. You were the midwife who welcomed me from my mother's womb. From the day you opened the door of life for me, you were there to hold me up and keep me secure. I will never stop singing my praises to you. And here it is. Upon thee I have leaned from my birth. Thou art he who took me from my mother's womb. My praise is continually of thee. Now, again, this, of course, has the thines and the thous. And that's a bit much, quite honestly. But for some people, that's the Bible for them. That's what they hear. And then the last one is verse 20. You who have made me see many troubles will breathe life back into me. You will bring me back up from the deepest place within the earth. And here it is. Thou who hadst made me see many sore troubles, wilt revive me again. From the depths of the earth, thou wilt bring me up again. All right, y'all. I'll let you be the judge of that, which you might like. Let me know in the chat. And let's close with this just one verse, because the Psalms are a prayer. Let this be our prayer today. My lips will shout for joy to you with my whole being, for you are the one who set me free and made me whole again. All right, y'all. Thanks for listening. Got to get out the door here. Blessing and good. Be bold. Be well. Hold fast, y'all.